Hi guys, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel where I focus on early game and mid game stuff. I thought this would be quite the nice time to talk about the Fusion a bit, how it's going and what we need to look out for in the future. Just before I made this video, I actually thought about making a champion guide. I've delayed that a bit though, just because I felt like my champions are not quite finished yet. And I have a few champions that are pretty great for certain areas, especially Fire Knight, where I haven't really focused on yet, so I couldn't showcase my champions in these areas. But definitely do expect a couple of champion guides from me in the future. Earliest on this CVC, on this personal CVC coming up on Tuesday. I'm definitely going to make a guide on Deacon at some point. That being said, he's very strong in Fire Knight, so I'm probably going to try to showcase him there. Because Fire Knight is also a great example to showcase most of his strengths. So I think I'll wait until the Fire Knight tournament is going on. Similar to Morag. Also, they are not ascended yet, and I'll do that on the CVC as well. So I'll be able to show their full potential then, at least full potential in an early game account, you know, as early as my account is. I'll talk about Tuhanurak for sure and make a guide on her at some point, and I also want to make a guide on Kayle. He hasn't, I haven't been able to finish his masteries yet, so I might, do that first, because I think it would be unfair to show his damage in Clan Boss without having War Master on him. But he has a decent build now, so yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm definitely going to talk about the two upcoming Turtles, Donatello the Fusion and Michelangelo the Free Champion. I definitely want to make guides on those two. So there is a lot going on in the next weeks, probably. And then something very interesting that I want to try is Ellen Narl. I want to build her as well, just because I think I like her. She also has use cases. And the first one, the biggest one that I can think of right now is her HP burn. Her single target guaranteed HP burn that not guaranteed, but HP burn that cannot be resisted. And utilizing her alongside Michelangelo in Spider is going to mean that I can actually spread the burn that she places from her A1 with Michelangelo's A2 or A3, I'm not quite sure. But he is going to guaranteed spread the burn that's coming from Ellen Narl, and therefore I'm going to be able to do Spider 20 from then on. At least that's what I'm hoping for. That's why I'm going to talk about Ellen Narl on this account, and I'm also going to talk about Gom, because he's amazing for Spider as well, just because of his 75% chance of placing a stun. That's really going to, and also decreasing the turn meter of all enemies, that's really going to help me to reduce the damage, the incoming damage from the Spiderlings on Spiders. So that's going to be pretty amazing. So I'm basically going to talk about everybody a bit, probably in the future. I also want to talk about Tagore, even though I haven't 6-starred him. I'm a huge fan of him, and I want to talk about why I think you should build him and why I haven't built him yet. So that's going to be interesting as well. Alright, that being said, let's get to today's real proper topic of today's video, and that's going to be the Fusion. I'm pretty comfortable at 35 fragments right now, and that's because I'm still missing the fragments from the Champion Chase tournament. I'm very close though, 2,921 points, so I'm easily going to complete this until tomorrow. I've actually had the hope of getting a couple of cheeky fragments from getting to first or second position, just because many in this bracket were just sitting at like 2,900 points, just as me. And I thought I might be able to hijack the first or the second place in the end. But then, unfortunately, two people decided, all right, we're not going to go for that risk that somebody hijacks anything. So they went for the 4,000 threshold, which is actually not a bad place to be because of the legendary tome. But still, I definitely don't have the resources. And also, guys, I do want to save up every single shard I can on this account. I want to save up every single shard I can, because there is at least what we know right now from the information that Plarium has given us. They said a couple of details will be changed, but there is going to be guaranteed events for both of the missing turtles. And I intend to go for those, or I'm going to try to go for those. I don't know if that's going to be possible for me in the future. There is the Summoning Rush coming up, but I'm going to try to save as many shards as I possibly can in order to get at least a third turtle. That would be so amazing on this account. I think 2 turtles is great. 3 is already bonkers, and I'm very hopeful that that's going to do crazy damage, not only in Clan Boss, but everywhere else as well. Especially if I could get Leonardo. I would love to get Leonardo. What a great champion. Alright, just quickly talking about this. If you want to check out how I cheesed this event with very little shards, you can check out my other video that I did about Champion Chase tournaments. I was very lucky on my shard pulls, also had a couple of fragments. I haven't really done anything different from what I've said in my last video, just doing champion training and slowly but surely getting points from opening mystery shards and just doing champion training and getting a couple of rare champions from campaign alongside doing champion training. The only thing I did that I wasn't really planning on, I fused my Justicar in order to be ready to do Relic Keeper if I would need to do that in order to hijack my Champion Chase tournament group. But I decided that, or well, it turned out that it wasn't necessary. So I'm going to keep my Relic Keeper probably. And I'm just going to wait until there is another event where I can fuse him and get quite a few points. By the way, Relic Keeper and Justicar are both retroactive in their missions. So if you fuse them early, you're still going to be fine with the missions, and you're still going to have completed your mission. So don't worry about that. If you want to fuse either of them early, you can definitely do that and definitely go for that. Alright, so that's Champion Chase out of the way. You'll just have to see if you have enough shards for the Summoning Rush that's coming up next week. By the way, the 2 events for both of the other turtles, I forgot this guy's name, Raphael. The 2 guaranteed events for both of these turtles, Raphael and Leonardo, are going to be from the 10th of October, I think. Not at the same time, but that's basically the point until when you should try to, or need to try to save as many shards as possible if you want to go for either of them. Right, just as a heads up. But there's very detailed videos about that on different channels from different content creators, so check those out if you want to. I looked at one from Boozer, and that was actually very informative. That was pretty strong, I think. Good video, but he does pretty strong videos anyways, I think. Definitely very informative. Alright, so let's talk about the rest of these events. Classic Arena, not too much to talk about there. Tag Team, not part of the fusion. And then we have a Dragon tournament going on, and that's actually pretty spicy. Just because today there is no Dungeon Divers going on, so I'm definitely intending, obviously I have to go for all of these events, and I'm definitely intending to do Dragon as well, but there is no Dungeon Divers going on. There is one Dungeon Diver starting tomorrow. Also, there is still a bit of champion training going on. And I usually do these up till the last reward, just because champion training is important anyways. I do need food in order to be able to upgrade my turtles when I get them, so why not do the champion training whilst we get some rewards alongside it. So I'm going to max this out tomorrow, because it is not going to be going on any longer than that. I'm going to max that out tomorrow next to this Dungeon Divers event. And from there on out, it is very interesting, certainly to me, maybe to you as well, how to handle the Dragon tournament. Because we can only get Dungeon Divers points and double dipping when we do the Dragon tournament. There is going to be no other tournament going on at the same time during this Dungeon Divers. I'm very happy that it's actually Dragon, because it's going to give me the opportunity to farm some speed gear. but it's also going to mean I'm going to have to go crazy hard on that dragon tournament, and I'm going to have to do crazy amounts of dragon runs in order to complete this Dungeon Divers, because I think the points are still going to be very high. Now, like I said, I'm relatively fine with that. Definitely, if this was Ice Golem or Fire Knight, that would be crazy painful. But with it being Dragon and me needing speed gear anyways, I'm pretty fine with it. It's just going to be the question of how much energy that's actually going to be. Also, on my account, I'm not able to do dungeons very quickly. So the time factor is also something that I have to check on. Luckily, my Kale is decently built now, and I'm hoping that he's really going to improve my dragon run time. The average is probably around 550 right now. Kale is going to improve that, hopefully. Just as a quick side note on how to build him for that, I only have him in like around 140 accuracy. That's because I'm utilizing the accuracy aura from Tu'Hanarak. And from there on out, I was mostly looking for survivability and some speed so that he will leave, place his poisons and survive whilst doing that, which is why I have defense percent and HP percent on chest and gloves. And the crit rate that I got is actually just from some substats. Yeah, pretty crazy. Helmet, for example. If he wasn't survivable enough, I would just get rid of this crit rate, but I thought if he had crit rate, then he would also help me a bit fighting the waves on stage 20. So I hope that he's going to improve my dragon run time. The reason being is there is only 2 days where I'm really gonna go hard on the dragon tournament, and that is tomorrow, but mainly the day after tomorrow. Because then we are not only going to have tomorrow Dungeon Divers and the Dragon Tournament going on, but also a personal rewards CVC. So we are basically triple dipping. The problem is, when I take too long on my Dragon runs, and I only try to do Dragon on Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday morning until the Dragon Tournament is over, then I might not be able to finish the Dungeon Divers event just from the runs that I'm able to do during that time period. Luckily, Dungeon Divers is going on for a bit longer, so even when the Dragon Tournament expires, we still have the chance to get a few more points for Dungeon Divers. It wouldn't be that efficient though, because like I said, my priority is CVC. Getting CVC stuff is nice, but my priority is getting speed gear and getting more points on the Dragon Tournament. Alright, I think that's pretty much everything about the Dungeon Divers here. There is another one coming up. Like, I've looked at the full fusion plan. Check that video out if you want to. There is another Dungeon Divers coming up, but there is a lot of events alongside it. There is a champion training, there is a Fire Knights tournament, and there is a Spider tournament, so you should get sufficient points in that Dungeon Diver event. And the Summon Rush, you'll just have to see if you have enough shards. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. For me, for example, I was able to do this Champion Chase tournament solely with Ancient Shards and Fragment Summons and Champion Training, so I didn't have to use any of my Sacreds, so I am definitely going to have enough shards to get 5 fragments for Donatello on the Summon Rush, and leave out the other 10 fragments that are going to be at a very high price. And then I think that leaves us with only one more thing, and that's gear enhancement. I've just been able to complete this first gear enhancement, and it has been surprisingly painful, I do have to say. I didn't expect this to be so annoying. I had 20 million silver, I did quite a bit of champion training, I've done Ice Golem, I've sold quite a bit of my artifacts in order to get some money back, but I'm still only sitting at 13.5 million now, and I'm a bit worried that I'm not going to have enough silver for the gear enhancement events coming up. So that's going to be a threshold for me, or a point for me where I just have to check whether or not I have enough resources. Luckily, I'm going to accumulate a bit more silver during the rest of the fusion, and also during CVC. I always save up my resources here in the forge, my artifact resources, so I will craft quite a lot of artifacts And the Guardian pieces and also the Fortitude pieces are probably just going to go straight into silver. You know, I'm going to craft all of these and then I'm going to sell all of these, and that's also going to give me quite a bit of stuff. So yeah, I'm hoping that it's going to be enough silver, but we are going to see. Yeah, where are you at with your fusions? I hope you're doing well. I hope there is not too much trouble. If you have any questions, if you have anything specific that you know you're unsure about, please just drop a comment down below. In any case, I hope that it's going well for you. Like I said, I hope you have a great day. And I'll see you on the next video. Until then, bye.